Thank you for joining me. I got a question today about what is the way to peace? And I thought I'd share here with everyone to answer that question, if I can, if there even is an answer, because ultimately there is no way to peace. There's realizations that happen within yourself that allow you to not be in resistance, ultimately inviting peace, but even that is not the way, because if you say that's the way, then your mind will start to believe that that's the way, and anger and resistance come up quickly. It's like an explosive. So say for example someone comes here and I'm doing this and they say something and I react and I forgot the way of peace. So you don't really want to depend on your thought. You just have to practice being so frequently that it becomes your natural state of being. So when situations come up, you don't need a way. The way is you and your presence. So you won't necessarily need a written down way or a memorized way of being peaceful, but being aware of your breathing, if you would like to call that a way, that can be your anchor to keep you in that state of enthusiasm, appreciation, and that ultimately leads to a peaceful state of being or a conscious way of being. But ultimately, you don't really want to rely on a certain way, because so many situations can happen where that way may not be possible. That, whatever it may be, someone comes up and they have some words to say about you parking in their parking spot, let's say, and what's going to be the way about that? There's no way. You don't really know. So you have to be present. Keep your attention on the rhythm of your breathing. And you have to be okay with not knowing and see what comes out of that, ultimately. Allowing yourself to experience the different situations and see how it happens. Yes, I know the mind, it wants to know, it wants to have a way of handling something before it happens. Say, for example, it wants to have a way of how will I handle this? That's good too, that's contemplation. But usually, for example, someone who goes out on stage, they'll have their lines all written down and ready. But when they get out there, the lines are gone. And a good comedian or a good actor continues. They don't stand there and continue trying to figure the lines. They would not be a good comedian. So they allow that presence to arise. They may not do it consciously, that they shift their attention to their breathing, but it happens. You're always breathing, so that's always there. And then that's a state of presence, and you allow what comes through you through that. And at that time, you don't need a way, because then the comedian will be going backstage looking for his notebook. I need a way, I need a way. No, you just allow it. Accept that this is happening. Take a conscious breath or two or three and allow presence and wisdom to arise through you, because there's a deep intelligence within you that functions and it knows what to do, let's say. But you have to step out of the mind and allow that deep intelligence to function. Not believing the mind when it says, I need a certain kind of way. That's again the mind or the ego trying to grab a hold of your thoughts and use you, because the thoughts and the ego does not want to be pushed aside. It wants to be the ruler, if you will, of this human form. But you have to have the courage, again, to allow that state of presence to arise, be okay with not knowing, and see what comes through there. Thank you.